Hey folks, Quilly18 here, and welcome to another Civilization tutorial for complete beginners. And I think this actually might be the final one of the series, because I think this will give you all the tools you need to get started. And for more of the in-depth late game stuff, you can just start to watch the Let's Plays. But we are going to deal with four major topics in this video. We'll see if we can cram this in. Maybe we'll need another one, but I think we can do it. We're going to talk about trade. We're going to talk about religion, we're going to demonstrate war, and we're also going to talk about victory conditions, because one of the questions that might have come up at this point is, hey, how do you win? First of all, how do you lose? Well, you lose if all your all your cities are conquered. Well, then that's the end of the game. Or you can also lose if someone else wins. So there are four different types of victories in here. Science, cultural, domination, religious. Additionally, there is a turn limit. The actual number depends on what speed you're playing on. If, for some reason, that turn limit were reached, then whoever had the highest overall score would be declared the winner. But again, that's pretty unlikely, and I think you can turn off the turn limit if you go and do the advanced start. So, basically, there's four different ways to win. Let's talk about the science victory first. The science victory requires that you do a bunch of space things. It's really the space victory more than the science victory, I suppose. You have to launch a satellite, you have to land a human on the moon, you have to establish a Martian colony. This requires you to get a lot of tech from the end of the tree. For example, the Martian colony requires the Mars Habitation Project, which is under robotics. It requires the Mars Reactor Project, which is under nuclear fusion. And it requires the Mars Hydroponics Project, which is under nanotechnology. So you have to research basically every single technology in the game to be able to unlock everything that you then have to build to win the science victory. Science victory is a combination of doing a lot of research, but also having enough production to be able to build everything in a timely manner and, not dying along the way. The next thing up is the cultural victory, which is a little bit hard to explain right off the bat, but basically it requires tourism. So over the course of the game, you will start to do things which generates tourism. There are great works that can do it. There are great wonders that can do it. There's a few other mechanics that can occasionally generate tourism. And basically what will happen is you will start to attract tourists from other nations. Right now we are attracting no tourists whatsoever from any nation. In addition to that, we have domestic tourists. Domestic tourists are basically a function of your culture. As you generate more and more culture over the course of the game, you will generate more domestic tourists. These are your citizens who are quite happy to stay at home because, your own country is super awesome. Domestic tourism is basically your defense against having someone win a cultural victory. For someone to win a cultural victory, they have to have more foreign tourists visit their land than anyone else has domestic tourists. For example, for me to win, I would have to have 10 total visitors, not from each. If you add up all the tourists from every nation, if it came out to 10, if this was saying 10 out of 10, I would win a cultural victory. This number 10 comes from the fact that Egypt here has 9 domestic tourists. I have to get one more than that. So you can see Egypt doesn't need quite as many tourists to win. Why is that? Well, because their own number doesn't count. So all they need is to beat the next highest person, which is this unmet player over here, has 8 domestic tourists. So Egypt has to get a total of 9 foreign tourists to come and visit at some point. Now, later in the game, to actually win, you're going to need 400 tourists in total for you to win that. And the tourism, again, there's a variety of great works and things which we haven't really talked about, but you'll sort of organically discover as you go forward. Later in the game, one of the biggest ways to get a lot of tourism is from literally building improvements called seaside resorts, along the sea. Then people want to visit your beautiful beaches. Your tiles do have an appeal rating. If you mouse over the tooltip, you'll see the appeal here is average. The appeal here should be quite a bit higher. Oh, still average, really? And over here, it's charming. The appeal in these tiles, you're going to start seeing things like when you do unlock things like the Seaside Resort, it's going to ask about appeal, and it's that. Basically, places near forests, places near mountains, places on the coast, those have very high appeal, really good for tourism. And that's how you eventually win that. The domination victory is very simple. You have to go and capture every other capital in the game. You don't have to own every city. You just have to own every capital city. The ones with the stars here, so this is our capital. This is Egypt's capital over here. This is Japan's capital. If you control every capital in the game, you win a domination victory. And finally, there's a religious victory. Someone's already founded a religion. We're actually getting pretty close to founding one. That's not the screen I want to be on. I want to be on the great person screen. Great profit. We're at 32 of 60, but we are making 2 per turn, so it shouldn't take too long. Probably will actually have to take 2 videos for us to finish this up. If your religion is the dominant religion in every other nation, to be a dominant religion, you have to have more than 50% of someone's cities, actually it's citizens, I think. Anyway, it says cities, but all right, whatever. If 50% or more of someone's cities follow a religion, then that religion is considered the dominant religion in that civilization. And if you can do that with your religion to everyone in the game, then you will win a religious victory. Religious warfare is a bit of a complex thing. I don't think we're actually going to be able to cover it in this tutorial. If you do want to see it in action, you can watch my Let's Play as Norway, where I do a religious victory attempt in there, and there's a lot of religious combat. I sort of discover it on the fly. But it's kind of a mid to late game thing, so it's a little bit beyond the reach of this particular tutorial. So I did go obviously and expand to another city over here. I've also built up quite a bit of military because Kabul did fall to Congo, and I would love to liberate them. Meanwhile, Charleston did build a trader unit, which we're going to talk about in a moment. So I need to go and in-queue something else. You can see we've unlocked the campus district as well as the encampment district. Campus produces science and can build libraries, universities, etc. Encampments are kind of interesting because you can't build them adjacent to your city. They've got to be at least 2 tiles away. And what they do is they're sort of another tile that, very much like your city, has hit points and must be beaten down before someone can enter that tile. It's a good location for you to put, say, a ranged unit, because the ranged unit will be protected while it's sitting in there. In addition, once you build city walls, I told you that walls allow your city to bombard units. Well, if you have walls, your encampments can also bombard as well. So all of a sudden, you get an extreme amount of defense. Furthermore, once you have an encampment, you can then upgrade it with things like barracks and stables and armories and so on and so forth, which A, gives you extra production, so you can build things faster, and B, any units that get produced in the city with the encampment, those units gain experience points faster, so they level up faster, which is really quite powerful. For now, though, Charleston, I'm tempted to actually build one more military unit. Because, you know what, and I will. I'm going to build a heavy chariot. Notice I have unlocked the ability to do horsemen, but you need 2 horses. You have to have 2 horse units to be able to build horsemen, unless you have an encampment. And you know what? I know this is a little crazy, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and I'm going to buy... Long term, this would be a better place for an industrial zone, but I don't think that's going to be within the scope of this tutorial. I'll buy this tile, sure, and I'm going to build an encampment on here. Boom. That'll be quite nice, because then we can build our horsemen with only our 1 horse unit. All right, so here's the other thing. I have a trader unit over here. I have a new thing in my toolbar over here, 0 of 1. This is how many active trade routes I have versus my total capacity of trade routes. I gained that because I unlocked foreign trade. Foreign trade is a civic, and what it does is it grants you a trade route, lets you create trade routes, starts you off with a capacity of 1, and unlocks the ability to build trader units. So this trader unit right over here, you can't move around normally. What you do is it starts from one of your cities and goes to another city. It can be another city within your empire, or it can be a foreign city. And you can actually see the blue trails here represents the routes that they will take to go to all these various cities, and the green squares are all the places I can send it. From Charleston here, I cannot reach Seoul. If I did, there's a button over here. I can transfer this trader to another city, so I can transfer it to Washington or New Orleans, and this would become the new city that the trade route would originate from. I'd transfer it, say, to Washington, and then next turn I could do a trade route from Washington, probably to Seoul. Most likely it would reach. So, let's say I just want to run it out of Charleston. Where am I going to send it to? So, again, I can just sort of right-click on a city on the map, but it's much better to look at this list. This tells you what you will get if you send a trade route to these various cities. For example, if I were to send a trade route to Washington, Charleston would get +3 food per turn and +1 production per turn. It's quite good. The more districts that are in a city, the more benefits you will have. So 3 food, 1 production from Washington. If I send it to New Orleans, I'll only get 1 of 1. That's not very good. If I send it to the Egyptian capital, I'll get 2 food and 3 gold. Kabul will give me 3 gold. Lisbon would give me 5 gold. Vilnius would give me 3 gold and culture. Where do you send it? I don't know. Depends on what you want. I mean, I guess it doesn't make sense to send it to New Orleans. It is quite good when you have a new city. A lot of times you might want to initiate trade routes from your new cities because you want your cities to grow very quickly, and your new cities tend to have poor production because they're so small and, you know, they don't have the population base. So it might actually be a good idea for me to send this to New Orleans and then run a trade route from there to somewhere else to get food and production. But honestly, Charleston's not very big either. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to send a trade route from Charleston. I'm going to send it to Washington. Get some extra food to Charleston, +1 production. That's going to be quite nice. I will begin route. Note that Washington gets no benefit. Sometimes, see, if I send it to Roccadet, which I'm sure is not the way that it's pronounced, I will get food and gold, but they will also get gold, which will probably make Egypt happy with me, but do I want that? I don't know. But right now, I think food and production is going to be great, so we can grow Charleston, and it'll probably knock a turn or two turns, in fact, off of encampment. Also gives a Eureka towards currency, which I was already researching. Very convenient. So we've got that. Now, the other neat thing about your traders is, as they walk from one city to the other, they will build a road. Now, what the road does depends on what era you're in. Currently, because we're in the, I want to say, ancient era? Classical era. Currently, because we're in the classical era, all that it will do, I believe, is make it so that difficult terrain, like this road is going to go into this hill and across a river and all those things. Normally, for me to enter this tile, it would take 2 movement. It would almost certainly end my turn with a military unit. But if I'm walking along the road, it will not. It will only cost me 1 turn to make that move, which is huge. Later on, roads will actually discount your movement so that the movement will take less than 1 unit per tile, which is really, really, really quite nice. All right, so we've got that. That's great. Let's go ahead and next turn it. You notice my military is moving towards Kabul. In fact, I'm going to go on the next turn and even move the archers that way. I want to declare war on Kabul. Or, sorry, on the Congo, because I'm a little worried about them. They've actually insulted me a couple of times. They just planted another city over there. For all I know, they're going to attack Seoul, and Kabul deserves to be liberated. I would like to go to war against the Congo because I want to demonstrate warfare. So I could, at any point, declare a surprise war. I talked about the warmonger penalty over here. It's only moderate right now. If in the ancient era, there's no warmonger penalty. Now it's moderate. It's not too bad. If I wanted to get rid of it completely, I could denounce them first. Then I could wait 5 turns. Then I'd be able to use the formal war casus belli. Casus belli is basically the cause for war, the excuse for your war. So if I denounced, waited 5 turns, I could use a casus belli to declare war and get a lot less warmonger. Of course, if I denounce the Congo, they'll also get the casus belli against me. Later on, in particular, when you're quite a bit further in the civics tree, right now here, diplomatic service, we unlock a whole new type of casus belli for different reasons, and I think there's a few more later on. Here we go, colonial war, for example. Here we've got declare war of territorial expansion. I think that might be it. So these are extra casus bellis that you can use to avoid warmonger penalty. But right now, moderate, you know what? I'll probably eat that. Some people might be upset, but I don't know. I don't know if it'll matter. I'm going to move my units a little closer first, though. In fact, I'm going to get them right up here. I did build 1 heavy chariot over here, and I've got my warrior over here. So they're going to be ready to go. This chariot's got extra moves, but I'm just going to tell it to skip turn for now. Go to next turn. It would not surprise me if we got a message from the Congo here. The AI is not... Aha! Your armies are at our doorstep. Do you think we're blind? Move them, or we'll be forced to action. So I could say my troops are merely passing by, at which point I would have to keep my troops away from his border for a certain number of turns, after which he would say, okay, you kept your promise. I like you. I appreciate you for doing that. You're swell. We'd actually get a diplomatic boost for being like, for keeping our promise that our troops weren't sticking around. I could declare war now. This would technically declare war on his turn, which means he would get to act first. But hey, we would be totally honest. I could say my troops are merely passing by and then declare war anyway. But that would make me into a liar and a promise breaker, and it would upset our relations with everyone. Which, I mean, he would be really upset, but even Egypt would be kind of disappointed. Or I could just ignore this, not lie, but not answer anything, and then declare war on my turn. At least I wouldn't be a promise breaker. At least. We complete a new civic. Oh, political philosophy. Excellent. Now we get to talk about new government types. So, I said before, we are a chiefdom, which gives us a military policy slot and an economic policy slot. But now, we've unlocked 3 new government types. Political philosophy unlocks 3. After that, all these are unlocked with a single technology. Does it say here? Exploration Civic unlocks Merchant Republic. Reformed Church unlocks Theocracy. Divine Right unlocks Monarchy, and so on and so forth. Each one of these is a tier. So these, I mean, you can see, so we're going from 2 policies to 4 policies, later on to 6, then finally over here to 8. So these are clearly a lot better. In addition to having more policy slots, each one of these has a unique set of bonuses, which is quite nice. So Autocracy has a lot of military policies, but also makes my capital more powerful, which is nice. Also gives us a boost of building wonders. Very good. Oligarchy only has 1 military policy. It has 1 economic, 1 diplomatic, and 1 wild card. But also, my land melee units have +4 combat strength, which is a huge bonus right now. Huge. +4 combat strength. That's a lot. And my units would gain experience 20% faster. I think that's what we're taking. Then there's Classical Republic with no military policies, just a lot of economic. You get more amenities, which we still haven't talked about properly, but you also get more great people points. Classical Republic, very good. But for now, Oligarchy. Boom. We're going to take that. I had a military policy in here. I took a Gauge or a Gauge, or I don't know what this is, to give me a boost towards producing classic era melee and ranged units, but I'm not doing that anymore. I'm just going to go and right-click to cancel it. Instead, I'm going to replace it with Conscription. Lowers unit maintenance by 1. Warriors and Chariots, I believe, are both free, but Archers, of which I have 3 of them, cost 1 gold per turn. So by grabbing that, I will save some money. It doesn't update in real time. Once I hit, once I lock it in, it will update this number. So right now we're making +2 gold per turn. I believe... Oh, we're actually getting -4 from units. Did I build a 4th archer? Am I wrong about the chariot? Maybe I have something else. But okay, whatever. In any case, I'm betting that our income then goes up from +2 to +6 in that case because of conscription. Later on, there's an upgraded version of conscription that discounts things by 2. But also at that point, you start to run into units that cost a lot more money. A lot more money. So we have an open diplomatic policy slot over here. I think what I'm going to do is take Charismatic Leader. Diplomatic League is quite nice. The first envoy you send to each city-state. So if you have 0 envoys and you send an envoy there, you actually get 2, which is very good. But right now, I don't think we're in a position to send one to Lisbon, at least not for a while. We've already got one with Seoul, and Kabul doesn't exist. So I'm just going to take Charismatic Leader so I get more influence points, which times out the next time I get... or accelerates the rate at which I get the next envoy. Then there's a wildcard slot, which you can literally put whatever in. So I could put that in, or I could put a military one in, whatever. But also is the only area where you can put these purple cards in. These purple cards they always give you great people point for someone. The only one I have unlocked right now, it gives me great general points per turn. I'm not convinced that that's something I need to rush at this time. So what do we take? We could take Caravanserai, get even more gold from the trade route. I only have 1, but it's not bad. I will want to build another settler soon. Want more builders soon. I want lots of things. You know what? You know what? I want to take this one because I'm going to build some builders soon. We're going to throw Ilkham in there temporarily. I think that's going to be okay. But we also have to choose another civic. And what I'm going to do is... There we go. Mysticism. Has the Inspiration policy card, which gives you great scientist points per turn. So in 3 turns, I'll get that, and that's what I'm going to go and slot in over there. I may not even get to take advantage of Ilkham, actually, but that's okay. Not the end of the world. All right, so now, do I want to declare war this turn? This archer won't get the fire, but everyone else will. So yeah, you know what? I think it's okay. So, hey, Congo. I know this is going to come as a complete surprise, but surprise! Declare war. Well, we don't have a religion yet, so we've totally strayed from God's path. We don't even know what a god is, so... Well, we have a pantheon. Alright, so now we're at war. There's currently no option to peace out. We have to wait a certain number of turns before that even becomes an option. But for now, we're going to be okay. So, my archers here, what are we going to do? First of all, I'm curious. Major victory, but not full victory. I think I'm going to go and kill the units that are nearby to start off with. Notice that Kabul has no city walls, so it actually can't fire at me. It does have 25 combat strength, and it will have 100 hit points, which means if I were to just go and attack the city directly with my melee units would take a lot of damage back. But that's what the archers are here for. Still, I'm going to start off. I'm going to step forward with you. I'm going to go and fire on... Oh, when I might kill him. Probably he's going to survive with a sliver of life. Nope, we got lucky. We did kill him. Excellent. Because it was major victory, not decisive victory. So we weren't guaranteed necessarily to do it. Then this archer, I'm going to go and take a shot at this warrior. This warrior's tougher than the slinger and is also in the forest, so we're not going to do quite as well over here. But we do weaken it significantly, and then I'm going to go ahead and attack with this warrior. And then finish it off with the heavy chariot over here. There we go. So I tend to prioritize killing enemy units because then they can't hit me back. But at a certain point, you do have to go and start focus firing the cities. Oh, there's my scout. My scout's currently... There's a button you can click for automated scouting. Hold on.
Bring you happiness.
I'm going to cut that off if I just cancel this. So my scout over here, you can see there's a button here, the gear, automated explorer. If you don't see it, click this little plus. So... Yeah, alright, Automated Explorer is good, but you're kind of in a dangerous location. Kudos to you for finding the capital, though. That's excellent. So I'm just going to manually move you away, and then I'll automate you when you're safe again. Choose Research. We are going to pick... I have a lot in the list, but I don't have a boost to any of them, which is a bit disappointing. A bit disappointing. There is some iron down here, but it's going to be a while before we mine it. And therefore, it's going to be a while before I have any iron, so I'm not going to be able to build swordsmen, which is kind of disappointing. We haven't farmed a resource yet. I will soon, though. I need to get a builder going on. What I think I'm going to do is that trick where I'm going to try to, like, pre-build something. Or pre-research something. I'm going to start with apprenticeship. I'm going to start researching it, and I'm going to try to remember to stop researching it when it gets about halfway. So that way, when I do build 3 mines, it'll complete for free at that point. I might forget, but I might not. So that's a scout there. Again, I do like to kill all their units, but I think it's much better now if I just start to attack Kabul. So I'm going to go and apply some damage over here. You can see cities are very tough, especially this combat strength of 25. Very, very, very rough. To the point where, like, do I want to consider perhaps going engineering for the catapult? Catapult has a range bombard strength of 35, which is quite a bit higher than the 25 of the archer. You can't move and then fire with the catapult. Also, siege units do have a slight penalty to attacking units as opposed to cities, but it is really powerful. You know what? Maybe I'll start going there. I don't know if I'm going to build ancient walls. Could happen. We might get the boost. We'll have to see. For now, I'm just going to scooch forward with my melee units, but while I can't attack with the warrior, I could attack with the heavy chariot. It says major victory. You know what? Actually, I'm going to do it, because then I'm going to be able to show off pillaging, assuming this is a completed farm, and it is. Good. So I'm just going to go ahead and attack here. We do a little bit of damage. I take some onto the chariot, which is why you do want to use a fair amount of ranged units most of the time when attacking cities. My scout's being harassed by a horseman. This is a proper horseman, too, not a barbarian one, so it's got the strength of 35. Very ouchy. U-turn over here. Someone does have a promotion and need more amenities. Okay, you know what? Since it's saying need more amenities, let's go and talk about that. So my capital over here. You can see there's a -1 amenities over here. If we go to toggle city details, we can find out some information for our amenities right over here. So amenities are basically happiness. They are on a per city basis. You get amenities from luxury resources. So you can see we've got +1 amenity from luxury because we have diamonds. This is empire-wide. Charleston is also going to get the +1 from luxury resources. One luxury resource, like 1 diamond, can do 4 cities. If you have more than 4 cities, then not all of them will get the bonus of the diamond. You need a second diamond to be able to cover them all. And of course, more luxury resources continues to stack. It's actually a bad... If I get the silver over here, for example, then that's more positive amenities, which is really good. In your capital, I believe you also get this +1 from your palace itself. We are getting -1 over here from war wariness, though. War wariness. Also, so that's from fighting. Fighting makes your people tired, and I believe the bigger cities get the war wariness to kick in first. You need amenities based on your population. Washington actually requires 2 right now, and because we've got 1 plus 1 minus 1 for a total of 1, we have 1 of 2. Currently, Washington is displeased. Our citizens are going to grow 15% slower, and our non-food stuff gets a 5% penalty. So our food's effectively getting a 15% penalty, and everything else is getting a 5% penalty. If this drops further, it can actually get so bad that barbarians will spawn around my city because there's rebels. Whereas positive amenities, like we have over here in New Orleans, because it doesn't require any. Small city, doesn't require any. It's got +1, it's happy. It's actually growing 10% faster and getting a 5% boost to all of its production. So having your people be happy is really, really very good. So it is something to keep in mind. There's a lot of different policies. There's a lot of buildings. There's a lot of things that can give you more amenities. For now, I'm going to go and attack here. And this archer, I could kill the scout. Let me look here. What if I just attack Cobble? Could I melee it down? It looks to me... Alright, I'm going to start with the warrior. Do some damage to Cobble. And if I tried to attack the warrior, the chariot, it says decisive victory, and it seems very likely, in fact, that the chariot will be able to win. Sometimes I would like to play it safe and use the archer to damage it a bit more, but it looks like we're going to be able to do it, which means I'm not going to show off pillaging. So pillaging. This heavy chariot is on top of an improvement, in this case a farm. Gives me the flaming icon over here to pillage the farm. When you pillage an improvement or a district, you get stuff based on what it is. If you pillage a farm, it actually heals your unit. That's, as far as I know, in Civ 6, that's the only thing that will heal your unit during a pillage. Otherwise, you get things like money and faith and science and whatnot. So I could pillage it to heal my chariot here, which is sort of what the plan was, but it looks like instead I can actually just conquer Cobble. And even though they had a perfectly healthy warrior sitting inside the city, that doesn't matter when it comes to taking stuff. So we have now captured Cobble. We then get asked the question, do we want to keep it? Normally, you can either raise it, burn it down, which triples the warmonger penalty for raising a city, or I could keep the city, which gives me a little bit of warmonger penalty, but then the city is mine. Or, and this is only because it's a city-state, I could liberate this city back to Cobble. I could basically, in this case, I think this would show up if the city used to be owned by anyone else. Whoever founded the city first, this might show up. Hasn't come up in many of my games, but I suspect that's true. In this case, I would be liberating it back to Cobble and basically respawning this city-state. I'm going to do that because I'm a great guy. Cobble is back into existence over here. And right now, it doesn't let you click on it for like the first turn. But once we get to the next turn, I should be able to click on Cobble, and I believe I will actually, if it works the same way it did in my previous game, I think I will actually have 3 envoys over there. So I'm looking forward to seeing how that works. Meanwhile, this archer is going to go and finish off that scout. Excellent. And my scout is just going to run away. And this scout over here is fully healed. We're going to put it back on automated exploration. Excellent. We'll skip to the next turn. They have quite a few troops moving around, but I feel like my ranged attacks are probably going to be sufficient. Mysticism kicks in. It's a civic, which means I can change my policies for free. I'm going to get rid of Ilkham. I'm going to replace it with inspiration because great scientist points are awesome. Although, you know what? I don't have my religion yet. Let me take revelation for now, just to rush our religion, because I still want to showcase that. And our next civic will be... So sometimes I pick civics based on what they offer immediately. Sometimes I pick it based on if I have an inspiration. Sometimes I pick it based on where it goes. If I do want to build walls, it might be nice to take defensive tactics so I can go and get the boost towards building it. We actually are building an encampment. We'll get military training in the not too distant future. You know, let me go down here to drama and poetry, especially... we were building a campus. Yeah, I don't know. Oh, we got our first envoy due to points. Oh, you'll also note it's a new turn. Cobble, we do indeed have 3 envoys. This is what we get for liberating them. Cobble, it has 3 envoys from us, which gives us the level 1, which is production in a capital and producing units. Level 3 is bonus production in every encampment when producing units. Of course, level 6 is the same. And our suzerain unique bonus is our units get double experience for battles that I initiate. That's actually really powerful. So the question is, where am I going to put my other envoy? I could go in Seoul and work my way up to the bonus from campuses, because I am actually building a campus in Washington. Or I could get the level 1 either here for more culture or here for quite a bit of gold. I think I'm going to grab the first level here for the +2 culture, because that would actually be a fair bit right now. So I'm going to do that. So yes, these horsemen are a little bit dangerous. Oh, also our units got kicked out of Kabul, which is a little unfortunate for the healing. But I think we're going to be okay. I'm going to fire on this guy. This archer is a little bit vulnerable. Well, that's not true. Because of the river and the hill, I actually don't think anyone can attack this archer as is. The horseman... No, I think because of the river, I don't think he can. Very good protection. Here, the horseman who is adjacent to the river could attack this archer. But I don't think it's going to matter, because 1, I'm going to weaken him. 2, I'm actually going to pull back here. Him crossing the river will end his turn. So I'm going to do that. He's almost dead anyway. Ooh, yeah, I better promote the chariot to heal him. I was going to move him up here, but I'm going to promote him. It'll heal him. So I can either take charge, which gives me a bonus versus fortified defender, or I can take barding, which gives me a bonus versus ranged attacks. It's also worth noting what comes next over here. Marauding is going to be better for attacking cities. Rout is good against damage units. I think we're going to go barding, which has the bonus. It protects me against archers, but also protects me against potential city bombardment and leads to rout, which I think is going to be really handy. Most importantly, I'm taking the promotion to heal the chariot. And I'm just going to move... I could rest you first, but I'm going to move up first before I do that. It'll give me more options in future turns. And this archer here's got lots of options. I think I could promote you, but you're not hurt, so I'm going to save that promotion. I think I'm just going to kill this horseman outright. And I think that you're not going to be able to attack me anywhere, including New Orleans. New Orleans doesn't have a huge defense, doesn't have walls, at a bit of risk, depends on how many troops Congo has. But yeah, this river. Rivers are good. Look at that. Okay, new turn. Well, again, I'm going to keep up the bombard. I'm going to prioritize the horsemen. They have higher offense, and their fast movement makes them a lot more threatening. But clearly not that threatening. Now, this archer here, if, let's say we kill the horseman, which isn't even guaranteed. No, we don't. But the horseman will be weak enough that he's going to be a non-issue. But this warrior will be able to attack me across the river. Still, he's very unlikely to kill me, especially since a hill and a river, it's a lot of defense. So I'm just going to shoot the horseman. Then this chariot's going to move forward, but again, the river works both ways. I cannot attack this guy. I'm going to move to here, because next turn I could cross the river and do some attacks. And I think I'm going to move here with the warrior as well, because it gives me some options for attacking across the river next time. So we don't get to take advantage of the promotion, but that's okay. If Kabul had any units, I'd probably spend the gold to levy them, but they don't, so that's okay. I could, in New Orleans, because I do have money, why don't I go and buy myself another archer? Actually, I should have done that last turn. Huge bonus. Plus, sitting in a city means I can't be attacked directly, which is great, because they can only attack the city itself, and the archer can go. You cannot, when a unit gets built, you get to use it right away, but when you buy a unit, you have to wait one turn before you can actually put them into effect. Okay. That horseman ran away. That is one of the problems with the horsemen, is they are fast enough to be able to run away when damaged. I'm going to cross the river with you, and then I can scooch you up, which means we have a lot of options for combat here. Okay, this archer can't shoot this this warrior because I'm on flat ground. This is a hill. This is a forest. Both interfere with my vision. So I can't shoot this guy. So this archer, I'm going to shoot here, because it's the only one he can shoot. I could move up, but it would end my turn because of the terrain. I wouldn't actually end my turn because of the river, because of the city here. It's like an implied road, but I'm pretty sure the terrain would. But anyways, I'm going to go and just bombard this guy. And I'm going to take this archer and also shoot him, finishing him off, which is great. These guys, I'm going to go and shoot here, and hopefully I can finish him off with this archer, which I can. Alternatively, though, why don't I shoot this guy? Because then... Oh, I forgot this chariot already moved. I was going to go and kill him. Whoops. That's not good. Really try to kill off units whenever you can, because otherwise they run away. That's really disappointing. This guy actually spent his turn promoting, and because he did nothing, he also healed the extra 10 hit points. So, now he's going to die. I could finish him off the chariot, which would give this archer a chance to heal or promote or whatever, but I tend to like the XP on the archer, plus it means the chariot doesn't take damage, which is a nice bonus. Oops, that's not the way I meant to move. I could attack here. I'm going to move here first. Gives me vision behind him. All right, I feel pretty safe, so I'm going to go and attack that way. Not going to kill him, but I'm in a good location. Also, I still have the boost from freaking Cobble, where my units are getting double XP from attacking, which is nice. There's no way for this archer to shoot him, because I could move to the cows, but again, the forest will be in the way. So I'm going to cross the river and get up on the hill on this turn. It's going to give me good vision in the future, which is good. And this archer here, likewise, has no real ability to do anything, so I'm going to scooch up to here. Still got a movement left, but I can't cross the river, so we're going to wait and keep going there. And I feel very, very, very confident. We're going to have to put a cut in this, but I think I could probably go and take their capital. In fact, as I approach the capital, and as enough time goes by between the war declaration happening and how much time has passed, I suspect we're going to get a peace offer. I'm going to go and rest my warrior and my chariot until they're healed. I will take this opportunity to promote this archer. Garrison is quite nice. If you're sitting your unit in a district, which includes the city, plus 10 combat strength is huge. Very strong on the defense, but I like offense, so volley for me. And I'm going to go and cross the river here. I know it would be slow going, but I'm wondering... Yeah, that's going to be fine. We're going to cross that river there. We're going to cross the river there. Just trying to figure out where I'm going to put my archer units going forward. You're going to take a shot on that guy. Maybe not kill him because he's in the jungle. Nope, we got him. Excellent. More promotions available as well. Wow, this double experience points from Cobble is freaking phenomenal. Love it. Be even crazier if I had the encampment, like, build those units, because they would get bonus experience points if I had, like, barracks and stuff. Our first campus is about to finish over here, giving us 2 science automatically, and then opening up the possibility of building libraries and stuff. This warrior decided to move forward, which is probably not very healthy for it. Now, this archer here has nothing he can shoot. The ranged attack button isn't even lit because nothing is in range, which makes sense. This guy's 3-way. So I'm just going to go and advance that way, which ends his turn, but that's fine. This warrior could still use some healing, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to scooch forward 1 step, because that enables me to move forward with this archer and bombard over their heads. This guy here is also going to move forward and do that. This guy's got no targets. I'm just going to move into the forest over here, and that's pretty good. So we finished the campus, so we're getting the science from that. I can then build the library in the campus. Note that the campus always generates 1 great scientist points per turn, and because it's adjacent to 1 mountain, that's +1 science, and it's adjacent to 2 districts, so that's another +1 science. But I could get another +2 science and another great scientist points if I decided to build a library, which is kind of tempting. We could also build the Oracle, which is a really good wonder. I do need more builders, though, and I'm tempted to just do that right now. I think that's what I'm going to do, because I need... Washington's at a size 5. I don't like it when my citizens in the city are working tiles that haven't been improved. Feels like they're not getting their full value. So I would feel much better with a builder here who could go and improve some of this terrain. We have another envoy, which I will... I'm just going to go and send to Lisbon, because it'll give me a +4 gold, which is quite a big boost, because I'm making 4.6 per turn now. So it'll recalculate at the end of the turn, but I'll basically be doubling my gold income, and that makes me feel good. This warrior has 1 more move, but I'm just going to leave him here. Good defensive structure. You know, ranged units up front, or sorry, melee units up front, ranged behind, especially making good use of terrain. Now, Mabanzo Congo, to me, it looks like they've built walls, which means they can bombard at a range of 2. So I may not want to move this warrior forward. In fact, he's damaged, so I may want to leave him sitting here. Especially since my archers can go... By the way, I'm using the R key for the ranged attack. You can also just click here. You're going... Hold on. First, this chariot's going to move up a little. Give me some vision on the other side. Then I'm going to move the archer here. Okay, feeling really good. I don't think I'm going to move the chariot any closer, because he could get shot by the city. Although, now the chariot's a little bit in the way of me really moving forward with this archer. Because these 2 are going to shoot this warrior. 1, 2. Can I finish him off if I do this? Yes, I can. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, even though it leaves this warrior relatively damaged. But then it means... Yeah, I can move forward with this archer and feel pretty good about that. Okay, let's do that. I want to go until we get the peace negotiation mode. Horseman attacked my archer. Hurt him a fair bit. I don't suppose you've got a promotion. You do. Any chance this chariot can kill this guy? Not quite. But here's what I can do. You can move forward a little bit. This archer can move forward 1 step, shoot that guy. Not quite kill him, but now the chariot can, which I like. This archer is not going to do anything except promote. He's going to take volley. Again, more offense is better. I like it. This warrior here, if I did move up, he could actually be in risk, but I feel like he's got to get out of the archer's way. So I'm just going to sidestep this way. Keep him out of bombardment range of the city. Keeps him in the forest, which is nice and defensive, and I like that. And I'm just going to move up here with this archer. Good. Monzo Congo does have a defense of 30. And I can't see it yet, but I'm expecting it does have walls. So let's figure out here with my archers. How can I bring all my archers to bear? This is a hill, and actually a rainforest hill at that. So I can't shoot from here over the hill. This is flat though, right? No, it's a hill as well. Oh, so I can't shoot from here. Okay. That means... And that's got rainforest. Alright, so this is a little bit risky. I don't like sort of doing this blind and having my archers this close, but we need to. I need to get an archer on there, and I'll need to get another archer on this hill, but of course we can't reach right now, which is really unfortunate. I'm going to go, and you've got a settler in your city. If I capture the city, that settler will be mine. So I'm going to plan that you're going to move there, and you're going to move down here, but of course because of the river and the hill and everything, our movement rate's a little bit crummy. This warrior's got 2 moves left. I'm actually, you know what's a good way to heal? Then we can show the pillage. I'm going to move to here. You do need at least, I think normally it's like cost you 3 move or, you know, whatever your max is. So this warrior can't do it on only 1. But next turn he'll be able to pillage this tile and heal himself up. The chariot's not in position to pillage any forest. But I think I'm going to cross the river here. I think that's going to be okay. I am hurt. So it's not fantastic, but it's okay. Okay. Right, so you're going to be completing your move to there. You know what I just realized would be best? If this guy moves to here, he'll still be able to hit the city. Because there's a hill here, but it's flat there. And then your move can be that. That, I think, is slightly... Well, I guess it's about the same. So we're going to start shooting the city. I'm going to get this archer... Okay, you are going to plunder this. Pillage this. Heals you. And I guess you're just going to shoot where you are for now. That's okay. But you can see we don't do much damage to the Congo city because it's got a lot of defense. It'd be better if we had catapults. We are getting our way towards engineering over here and catapults as well. But and if I have... Oh, I won't have enough money to quickly buy one, which is too bad. So you just built a builder, which is great. I'm happy about that. We're going to go and start building a library then because science! And over here... What did I build? Not getting the pop-up. I didn't build a unit. Oh, I think I just built a monument over here. Yeah, there's a bug where normally it's supposed to show you what you just built, but it's like always a couple of steps behind. So it didn't show that I just finished a monument, which is a little bit odd. I don't think I need to build walls. Again, it would have been nice to get the boost engineering, but at this point it's too late for that, and I'm not actually feeling threatened. I think this is actually another good place to build another builder. I really should get Ilkham back. Well, maybe in 2 turns. And you are hurt, but I'm going to move you to here. You can always come down here and then do some plunder soon. All right, Mr. Builder, your job will be to go and improve that farm, finally. And then we'll figure out what we want to do with you next. So you can see my trader here has completed that road, which is very nice. The traders run for, I believe on standard speed, it's 30 turns, and then they will go and ask you for a new route. So all my archers can fire this turn. Monzo Congo's, okay, does not actually have walls. I think it's constructing walls. So it can actually bombard me now, which is good news for me. I'm going to leave my chariot where it is and just fortify into heal. They could pillage the farm, but I'll keep that for later. Plus, if I take the city, I'm not going to want all the farms to be pillaged. It's under siege right now. It's very unhappy about that. But yeah, it's trying to build walls. If it builds them, it's going to get a lot more hit points. Oh, shoot, it just finished them. And now it can bombard me, which it did.
Have been mysteriously silent on the subject of cheese.
So let's go and change our policies here. I'm going to get rid of Revelation. I'm going to keep up the production and take Ilkham. I would still love a variety of great people points, but I think in the short term, this is going to be a good bonus right over here. So I'm going to confirm these policies. So yeah, it's built walls. So now the blue line is the wall hit points. What's annoying here is walls don't automatically heal every turn, but the yellow bar does. And until I burn through the walls, this city will be able to bombard me, and my melee units would actually do a terrible job of attacking the city while the walls are up. So this is really, really rotten timing, and is actually going to make this quite difficult. We could consider seeing if we could negotiate peace at this point, if we're really worried. But yeah, if I tried to attack here, it would be major defeat. So we're just going to fortify up. We can start working on a new district. We might found a religion in time here, actually. You are going to go and build that, which gives us a boost towards irrigation. Finally, the very late farm. Very, very late farm. We're about to finish an encampment over here. 2 turns will do that, and we might have to start on a catapult. Out of curiosity, would you peace out now? We could try to negotiate. Oh, you're not willing to negotiate at all right now. I'm betting you're going to change your mind real soon. So you're bombarding that archer again. That's okay. Inspiration. We got a boost towards military training because we completed an encampment. And we got a boost towards mathematics for something. I'll take it. We've got a horseman nearby, which I should... He might just be going into the city. If he does that, then I'm not too worried. If he starts attacking my units, it'd be a bit annoying, but he can't reach my archers. So I think I'm... Whoops. I think I'm just going to keep bombarding the city. In particular, it'd be really nice to get rid of the walls so that the city stops bombarding me. I really want this guy to get a promotion. He's at 33 of 45, so he's not going to get enough from bombarding the city, unfortunately. But next bombard, he would. So that's something. I could do some attacking here, but I don't think that makes much sense. I'm going to keep these guys just fortified up, which gives them some extra bonuses. Charleston finished that encampment. You can see it's got a certain amount of strength here. I could upgrade it with a barracks or stable. This also enables me to start building horsemen with only 1 horse, which is quite nice. It's at basically at its housing limit. I think a granary would actually be a good idea over here. Or another builder. You know what? Change my mind. I want yet another builder over here. Nice. Okay, that farm is up. I will want more farms here and more mines here, especially since I talked about I've got 5 people in Washington. I would feel a lot better if I had 5 tiles all improved. But I don't think I need to worry about this as much. And instead... I mean, they're all building builders. You know what? Screw it. We're going to build a farm here, and then we'll go and mine one of the hills. And I think that's going to be okay. Alright, next turn. Ooh, this is really... Nearly done this. As expected, he did go into the city, and he did bombard the archer again. There's my catapult tech, but I don't think the catapults are going to be relevant here. I still don't have a promotion for this archer, and he may be forced to run away as a result. So all the walls are gone now. We're doing health damage, which is great. Also, it means that our melee units can now do quite a bit more damage. It says major defeat here, and that is true, but it won't kill me. It'll leave me at about half. And I could pillage the wheat after. It'll be interesting to see if the horseman comes out. How's this bombard? I mean, my unit doesn't do as much. Yeah, it's hardly a scratch. I think I've got to run away with this archer, as much as that pains me. I could pillage this district, but it won't actually heal me, because it's not a farm. So I think we're just going to wait one more turn without doing anything. That's going to have to be fine. We got a boost towards irrigation and the one on mathematics, but irrigation is going to be quite a quick finish, so we may as well just go and do that. So yes, I'm going to farm here. Later on, you get a lot of technologies that allow your farms to get huge bonuses if they're adjacent to each other. Right now, we don't, so this is a little bit meaningless, but there we go. As expected, a peace offer, because he knows he's going to lose his capital now. And I could take this, especially if I'm trying to avoid warmonger penalties. Right now, yes, I declared a surprise war, but I liberated a city-state, which basically erased all that warmonger. And if I don't take anything else other than, you know, a horse, silver, and a ton of money, 25 gold per turn for 30 turns is huge. It's tempting. And yet, you know what would be a lot better than this? If I just took his capital. I think that would be a lot better. And clearly, it's about to fall. It does heal a little every turn. Interesting. It doesn't have the under siege thing. I guess maybe you need 5 units to be adjacent for that. That's possible. And maybe it doesn't heal while it's got the under siege modifier. That might be it, actually. Still, I'm pretty sure if I just unleash all my bombardments here, and then trade unit to pillage, which would be really nice. But the correct thing to do here, I think, is to attack with you, and then this will finish you off. Not only will I take the city, but also capture that settler. Again, an inspiration towards recorded history. Most of the inspirations, let's see, recorded history. Not filter, search. I know the window's in the way, but recorded history. Ah, right over here. Was build 2 campus districts. Now, it's not actually build 2, it's own 2. I have one in my capital, and apparently he had one in his capital as well, so we got a boost from that. Really convenient. Inspiration towards feudalism, which I believe you need 6 farms for that. So I captured some farms. We captured their settler. That's a pretty good turn. Now I'd be perfectly happy negotiating peace. I believe if we tried now, it wouldn't necessarily... Yeah. I'm going to wait. On his turn, he'll probably offer something. Oh, yes, we're going to keep this city. It did lose some of its population, and some of its buildings may be damaged because of the battle. You can see here, it has a granary, but it's broken right now. We can repair it. You repair it for a fraction of its price, but until you've repaired it, it doesn't work. Sure, we'll do that, because it's a pretty cheap thing to do. And this archer, you'd heal faster if you were in my friendly territory, which this area now comprises. I'm actually going to send you over here to Charleston. We're going to keep an eye on Egypt, make sure they don't try anything funny. You're going to go and improve a mine over here. I'd really like to build a lumber mill, but we don't have the technology for that at this time. How are we doing towards our great profit? Okay, still quite a few more turns there. All right, we're going to go and put a cut in here. Next episode, we are going to continue this warfare. We'll found a religion, and that will probably, I'm pretty confident, will be the final tutorial. Thanks for watching, folks. I'll see you guys next time.